Hello everyone. So since we are talking about the emergency landing, the planned emergency landing, let me just tell you an incident that happened which has relation to that landing. So on September 21st, 2005, JetBlue Airways flight 292 landed at Los Angeles International Airport, California, with the nose wheels cocked 90 degrees. The first officer was the pilot flying. He noted no problems during the initial departure and observed a positive rate of climb. Information from the digital flight data recorder indicated that after liftoff, the gear handle was positioned to the up position. Although the flight crew noted an error message displayed on the electric centralized aircraft monitoring system. There was a shock absorber fault message for a nose landing gear shock absorber. Okay? So shortly after the landing gear handle was positioned to the up position in the initial climb, the flight crew noted an error message on the electric centralized aircraft monitoring system, listing a shock absorber fault message for the nose landing gear shock absorber. The gear handle was then moved to the down position and the crew received an error message of a fault for the nose wheel steering. Alright. Now let's see the problem cause and the findings. So the National Transportation Safety Board determines the probable cause of this incident to be the fatigue failure of two anti-rotation lugs due to repeated cycle pre-landing tests, which allowed the nose wheel to deviate from the 0-degree position on landing gear traction. A contributing factor was the design of the brake steering control unit, which is BSCU system logic, which prevented the nose wheels from centering. Also contributing was the lack of a procedure to attempt to reset the BSCU system under these conditions. Alright. So during this incident happened, the airplane sustained minor damage when the tires deflated and tore apart. The nose wheels ground down into the axle. Okay. As we're talking about fire, flames from runway contact flared each time the airplane's cocked nose wheel passed over a paint strip on the runway centerline. The wheel assembly was scorched. Okay, and regarding the injuries, there was no injuries, no injuries to anyone, no harm to anyone that happened during this incident. Okay. So why this is an example of planned emergency landing? Because the flight crew members had enough time to prepare the passenger for a landing without any damages or any problem with the passenger that happened and they had to deal with. So there was nothing, no dangerous thing happened to anyone. So they had enough time to plan for the emergency landing. They had to land at the airport, so that's why they had enough time. Okay, they prepared the passenger and the aircraft for a safe landing for everyone. So that's how it's an example for a planned emergency landing. Okay. Regarding the things that the crew I think did well. Okay, let me just pull up the notes here, or just give me one sec. Okay. So the captain communicated with the cabin crew and passengers. The cabin crew emptied the first 3 rows of seats and moved baggage as far aft as possible, which is a great thing they've done here. Okay, they placed able-bodied persons in the exit rows and removed all baggage and paperwork from the seating area, which is also great. They showed the able-bodied persons how to operate the doors and gave additional instructions. The lead flight attendant placed the in-flight entertainment master switch in the standby mode, which muted the audio sound and disabled the visual pictures. She disabled the system entirely the last 15 minutes of the flight. The cabin crew provided blankets, pillows, water, and non-alcoholic beverage to the passengers, which is awesome. They did a great job here by helping them take a rest or have something to refresh or something. So they give them water and non-alcoholic beverage and all that. Okay. The flight attendants spoke to the passengers individually prior to the landing to ensure that each one knew the emergency procedures that would take place and how to properly brace. Okay, so this is a point that I have some comments on. So instead of speaking to passengers individually and take too much time, it's better to stand at the front at each sections and give them the instruction on the emergency procedures, how they can do it and how they can be all safely evacuated. So here I think they could have done like a much better action. Okay. And then the flight attendants checked and double checked each other's work to ensure that everything was completed and would go according to the plan. All right. At the end, the cabin crew remained at their stations as previously defined by the captain until he sent word that there was no fire. After this notification, the passengers deplaned normally through the L1 door to air stairs brought to the airplane. Okay. And why this incident we consider it as incident, not as an accident, because there is no damages, no harm, nothing bad happened to anyone as health wise or anything. Okay, so they had enough time to prepare for a safe landing, which couldn't cause any major damages to the aircraft or any major health issues or anything happened to any passenger. Everything was fine, everything was all right. Just something came up which was wrong with the airplane, and they had to deal with it, and they had enough time to deal with it. So that's why we don't call this an accident, we call it an incident. An accident means they had no time to do a reaction or to do anything to save the airplane and the passengers. So here they had enough time to deal with everything safely and everything was perfect. So that's why this is an incident. All right. Thanks so much for listening and have a great day.